Hello again, I'm Robert James, and we're going to explore ancient tactics and how we can use them for self-protection. Let us dive in. When in mortal danger, in our mindset, there is no defence, only attack. Your defence is your attack, and your attack is your defence. Prior to any confrontation, there would have been pre-indicators that would enable you to escape or weaken the attacker beforehand, taking full control. For instance, if you see three aggressors coming towards you, you might manage to get to a doorway. You need to stay just enough behind it that if any part of them comes within the door frame, you strike at them hard and fast and keep striking. Three people cannot get through a doorway at the same time. You reduce their size down and their advantage. Just like Hannibal Barca did against the Romans, forcing them through a narrow passageway, reducing their large size down. The Roman army was superior in size and strength, and Hannibal used the environment to his advantage. Mountains protected his flank, and a narrow passageway to reduce the Roman size down so they were more manageable to fight. This is the same tactic, but in a modern equivalent of using the doorway. You have your flanks protected and your rear, so the only threat is coming at you from the front. Something to think upon. We do not want to face our opponent on equal footing. We must hold the advantage. They must be weakened beforehand, either distracted, placed on bad ground, or using the weather against them are a few things to consider, like the use of doorways, which can also be useful in one-on-one fights. As like I said, your flanks are protected. Ancient battle commanders used natural advantages like mountains or rivers to protect their flank. The same mentality we can adopt. In martial arts training, you're on equal footing, as the person in front of you is prepared to fight. You don't want that. You want them distracted, surprised, weakened. Inequality must exist. If it doesn't, then avoid the confrontation. Escape. If you can't, then switch on that primal aggression, the if I'm going down, you're coming with me mentality. The you take from me and I'll take from you frame of mind. Look at animals, for instance, how they are threatened, growl, snarl, bare their teeth, how to enlarge themselves, give the impression that they're larger than they actually are. We can do this by stretching out our arms like the Vitruvian man. You occupy a space 8 foot. So your attacker has this perception that you occupy this larger space. You would initially be putting him on the back foot. Obviously not performed within striking range, but it'll just hit you straight down the centre. This is about the initial encounter, portraying to the enemy that you're larger than you are, a deception, key principle in warfare. I had a student tell me about an incident when he was driving through a city. There was a gang of men in the road, and one of them slammed his hands down on his bonnet of his car in a very threatening manner. He didn't get out and the gang moved on. But he asked me during the training session what I'd have done if it all kicked off. I said you did the right thing, not getting out, you had your family with you, you were safer in the car at that moment. But I said, if I felt it was all going to kick off, I would have driven into them and then got out and finished off whoever was left, or driven off. Depends on the situation. He said, when you got out and fought all three, well, why would I do that? I'm outnumbered. They could have weapons. I have a family to protect. If I got out and something happened to me, then my family would have been placed in danger. If I'd assessed that it was going to kick off and we were all in danger, then I would have taken out as much as the threat as possible. Weaken the enemy first, then fight. Just as in ancient battles, weaken the enemy first with a rain of arrows, and then go in with the swords. In the gladiatorial arena, unfortunately the gladiator didn't have the luxury to weaken his enemy first. He had to use tactics like blinding him with throwing sand in his eyes, a distraction, using the sun to blind him, anything in his environment to give him the advantage, analysing his opponent's movements, seeing his weaknesses, and then striking with the utmost force to destroy that opening at any opportunity. He would have switched on his primal aggression, the instinct to survive at all costs, baring his teeth if he'd lost his weapon, tear his enemy apart with his bare hands, a mentality to never give up, useful in a lot of things other than combat. Looking at advantages and opportunities, the same applies if you're approached by a gang. Escape if you can. If you can't, stay to the outside. Do not let them circle you. If one reaches down to his pocket, it could be a knife. He's about to pull out, and he'll try and get as close to you as possible. Push him as hard as you can and escape. The push is a great tactic. It will send him flying, and hopefully he'll fall and hit the ground hard. Or better still, push him into the others. This will buy you time to escape, or get a weapon to even it up. Biomechanically, the push is a very strong stance. Imagine adopting, it's the same stance you'd adopt as you were pushing a car to jumpstart it, or pushing over a jammed door. A very strong power line is made between your foot and the hand. Maximum friction you'll have against his lesser friction with the ground. Simple but highly effective. Don't get tied up in trying to disarm him. You might stop his weapon arm, but the others will get you. There's lots of different scenarios, and we'll look at these in future videos, and how you can apply ancient warfare strategies and tactics to defeat anyone. But when I say defeat, I mean the fight is over before it's begun, because we would gain control over the whole dynamic of the situation as it will unfold in our favour. This is not a history lesson or reenactment. It's borderline martial arts. This is survival. This is diving in deep into the core of your being, the will to survive, igniting a fire, awakening the primal beast within, and releasing it in moments of danger. Your freedom is in danger. Your life is in danger. That's how we tap into the mind of the gladiator in the arena. The fear, the aggression, the will to survive, the emotion, the spirit, the visualization, psychologically and physically. I'll see you again.